Okay, good afternoon. Today's date is October 27th, 2025. The time is 7:12 p.m. I'm Preston Jones from FinalWhistle Sports TV. I'm the owner of FinalWhistle Sports. Jack, can you please introduce yourself?
I'm Jack and I work at FinalWhistle Sports TV.
All right, Cam Brodt is still working on getting in, like I said, because we had the little issue um, of getting the thing set up. Okay, permission to move forward. I'm going to first. Can I have a second? Jack, that would be you or anybody.
A second.
All right, thank you. Previous meeting minutes were posted on YouTube, 610 Studios YouTube channel. If you were able to see those, great. If not, they are there to see the previous meeting minutes. Can I have a second to move forward? I'm going to first.
I first.
All right, thank you very much. At this time, we are not going to go into executives meeting because one of our executives is not here. He is not here, so we are not going to do that. And at this time, there's no old business to go over, so we will not take care of that. Now we move on to the new agenda. We're going to address the agenda now. And the first docket on our agenda is the FinalWhistle Sports TV podcast. Our applicant is Charlie Anthony. He wants to help us run that. So, Charlie, if you could give us a brief introduction on what it's going to be about and stuff like that, and then we will go forward. And actually, I'm going to ask you to pause 1 second. I apologize. Cam Brodt, I think you're in at this time. Can you unmute yourself?
Hello,
All right. Can you just introduce yourself real fast?
Cameron Brodt.
All right. Thank you very much. All right. We are dealing with the first item on our docket here, Final Whistle Sports TV podcast. Applicant is Charlie Anthony. He's a member of Final Whistle Sports TV, a junior commentator and producer. And Charlie, like I said, if you could just give us a brief introduction on what your vision is for it, that would be great.
Absolutely. So, what I envision this podcast being is essentially another way to, or is multiple, or is at least twofold. In one way, it's going to serve as a way to give announcements to our fans who watch the podcast or listen to the podcast. Additionally, it will work as essentially a news, a general sports news sort of thing. So, one of the scripts that I had, or the outline that I have written, what would generally entail me introducing myself and whoever the guest may be, go through updates for the channel. So we're starting some new project, like for, let's just say, the month of December, we're doing basketball every whatever day. Then that would be a way of getting information out early in it, so that if people don't want to watch the whole thing, they have to listen to it to find the information that they want to. And then after that, we would go into whatever high school sports we were covering. So when I had written these outlines, it was football, and then whatever some of the most common sports were. So we're in the middle of the World Series right now, so it would probably be college football, the NFL, the MLB, and maybe some of the NBA kickoff stuff. And then that would be a wrap up. I have a few ideas as for people that we could bring onto the podcast to talk. Um, I think there's a lot of directions we could go with that. If anybody would like to give some sort of idea or input to how it would make the most sense to move forward with this, um, if that would be okay with you, Preston, for them to please speak now.
Yep, sure. Does anybody have anything to add as far as executives Cameron Brodt or Jack Cagno? Okay, I don't hear any. I am going to add before the board, meaning me, Cam, and Jack, make a decision. I am going to add that Charlie has been a great asset to Final Whistle Sports TV. He has done great commentating for us, and his knowledge of our software that we use for live streaming and stuff like that, he caught on really fast. And he's been overall producing great content and being a great part of our team. So I'd like that to be kept in mind for the rest of the board members before we make a decision. Um, Also, I would like to add, do you have names of people who are potentially interested on being a part of the podcast?
As it was not official yet, I have not extended invitations at the moment,
Okay.
but I could, if you would, we'll see
As
how the
long as there was a general interest, that's all I'm looking for.
okay. Yeah, there were a few. Um, I would. I've a few personal connections to certain programs around the valley, so certain players or possibly even coaches would be on the table. Um, but generally, I'd like to see how the pilot episode goes and what the people want to see, and we'll go from there.
Sure. Yeah, no, that's a good plan, and I'm sure, we could get people to come on, no problem, as guests and stuff. The only other question I have for you is what will you need as far as equipment from us? I already know, you'll need the platform of Final Whistle Sports, but as far as equipment goes, what would you need?
Yeah. I believe just a simple to do it as a one person operation. I could really do it right here, but if we were to have people on probably a microphone or two, depending on the situation, like what we would use for the live commentating, and probably a tripod to fit a phone on to film it. But outside of that, I think it should generally be low effort, and this could also open up avenues for shorts. Because if we make one podcast episode that's 20 minutes to half an hour long, there's probably 3 to 5 clippable pieces that we could put out. Maybe we only like two of them, but that's still an extra couple thousand views that we can bring to the channel.
Yeah, okay. Perfect. So at this time, I'm going to ask the two other board members, Jack Cagno and Cameron Brodt, do you guys have any objections to this proposal if we were to go through with it?
I have a question. Am I good to?
Yep,
Okay.
you can directly address Charlie. Go ahead.
Okay. So, are you thinking about bringing us along, or is it just going to be you and your? You talked about a friend, right?
Yes, possibly.
Uh,
For certain episodes,
uh,
but um, I generally I wouldn't be opposed in the slightest to have you or Jack or Braden or the other Cameron that works with us, or even if Preston would want to be on camera, them on um to talk about the channel and talk about sports. And I know that you guys are very knowledgeable people, so I don't think that there would be a reason not to.
okay. Nothing else.
Okay, Jack, anything?
No.
Okay, we are going to now take a vote. I am in favor. I am in favor. Cam?
I am in favor.
All right, Jack?
Uh, sure.
Well, I need a yes or no. A
Yeah,
direct.
yes. That would be a yes.
Okay, just for confirmation. All right. With that being said, 3-0. Charlie has applied for this and it has been approved. The Final Whistle Sports TV podcast has been approved. Therefore, we will be in contact on how we can run that most efficiently, and we'll go from there. Anything to close off that docket?
Nope.
All right. We'll move on to item agenda number 2. It's going to be LinkedIn profiles for members' connections, as well as a Final Whistle Sports TV business page. I am the one who came up with this one. So basically, LinkedIn is a great way of marketing and making connections. And since I'm a senior, I already have a LinkedIn account and I made a lot of good connections. And you guys are juniors and trying to build resumes and make accounts for college and stuff. So I would like to mandate that the 3 executives and our juniors are more than welcome. I know they're a little young, but if they would like to make one, they can. But I would like to set up a day where we make our accounts and fill our portfolios up so we can, use Final Whistle Sports TV as something, that can be recognized for college or whatever. Does anybody object to that? Okay, is Cam or Jack not interested in doing that? Is it not one of your interests in really doing that?
I'm gonna be honest, I don't really want to do that.
Okay, that's fine. Cam, what are your thoughts?
I would like to uh, explore the option, but I'm not too sure about it.
Okay. So with that being said, for the personal profiles, we will then therefore leave that up to the person themselves. If they feel like it's necessary, they can do that. However, with the business page, I can man that. That's just for our connections and stuff like that. Can we all get an approval on that?
I
Okay.
Okay.
All right. With that being said, there will be a business page made for Final Whistle Sports TV. However, personal accounts, like I said, will be up to the person itself. Okay, winter plan continued. This is item number 3 on our agenda here. We do not, I believe, is there anybody in the session currently that is somebody who is going to be working with us for the winter season? I believe Mr. Corelli, I believe that was your last name, Mr. Thomas from Lehigh Carbon Community College. I believe you were just spectate. I don't know if you had a direct interest in anything winter. Um, is that something you can confirm? I don't see any of the basketball leagues or St. Luke's Sports Center in here. Um, so we will just okay. I'm seeing no winter program. All right, so perfect. All right, so you're just spectating. Okay. Um, so as far as that goes, then everybody is going to be good with live streaming basketball. I'm going to contact all of the local high schools in the area to see who will let us stream and who won't, because we're only doing live basketball games. The editing and stuff, I don't really want to do. So with that being said, everybody's good to work this winter and take some games paid. Mostly, we're gonna have. Everybody's good for that.
Absolutely.
All right, cool. Um, and yeah, so we'll figure that out more as we go, and I'll just start assigning things through High Task. And if you can't make it, you let me know, and then I replace you, and we'll go from there. Okay, winter sponsorships. I do not see Back to Glory Blasting or Kelly Nissan in the session here. We are definitely hoping to have them support us again for the winter. And we are, potentially looking for more sponsors as well. However, like we said, we're going to keep our integrity. And as long as Kelly Nissan's working with us, we are not going to have another sponsored car dealership. And as far as Back to Glory Blasting's working with us, we are not going to have another power washing company. That's integrity, and we're going to stay to that. With that being said, we are open to new sponsors, 250 for the winter season as well. Renewals are 250 as well. However, with new sponsors or renewals, we are going to offer updated promotional videos or new promotional videos. So, like if Kelly Nissan wants another video featuring their winterized vehicles, whatever, we'll film that. It doesn't matter. They're going to support us. We're going to support them. So that's good. We'll go to item number 5 here, addressing brand affiliations / member titles. So this is going to be a big one here. So we have some inconsistencies on our website as far as who does what. So we're going to need to clear that up. So whether it's you guys text me or you tell me right now what your titles are, I'm going to stay with founder and chief of operations just because that fits it. I can also add to myself scheduler because I assign the stuff, but we can discuss that. So I'm going to go to each person individually who's currently in here of what you want your titles to be. Jack, go ahead with yours. I know you said short form content. Is that and commentator? Is that what we're staying with?
Yep.
Okay, short form content creator and commentator. Okay, perfect. Let's go down the line here. Charlie, what are you thinking? First of all, since you're a junior, do you want your name on the website in a picture? What are you thinking?
I think name and or picture and description would be okay.
Okay, so as far as titles and we'll just say departments, what are you thinking about? Definitely commentator. We're definitely going to go with that.
Yes.
And
So this may change over these next few months, but as long as I'm not as long as I'm not stepping on anybody's toes, would junior short form or content creator be okay? And then I guess final
podcasts.
whistle, and then final whistle podcast host.
Yep. So I'm going to go with that because that's Jack's department. Jack, would you be okay with junior short form content creator?
Yep.
All right. All right. We're going to go down here to Cameron Brodt. I know we're doing commentator. As far as chief
Reporter.
of reporter.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. As far as chief of communications go, what do we want to do about that? Because I mean, I don't know. What do you
What do you mean?
think? So you don't answer any of the emails or anything. So that's kind of the description of the chief of communications and like answering the phone and stuff. So
Uh,
do you want to just drop that or do you want me to get you set up with the email and stuff?
no, you can drop that.
Okay. Okay. I thought maybe that's what it was going to be. Okay. Okay, our time's counting down here. We're going to keep going through our stuff here. Okay, this is the next one. Oh, I'm sorry, Braden. We did not ask you. Braden, is Braden in here? Commentator and anything else?
Uh, Probably just commentator.
Okay, are you interested in making YouTube shorts as well for us or not at this time?
Uh, I'll have to think about that, but
All
not
right.
at this time.
All right, you'll get back to me on that then. Perfect.
Yeah.
That's
All right, we'll go with that then. So The only other thing I want to talk about on that page is with communication. Recently, I've been just texting Charlie and Braden and stuff. Or actually, I guess I'll take care of that now because Cam's not the chief of communication. So forget about that. Communication will go with me as I'm the assigner, and we'll just go with that. It makes it easier on all of us, kind of. Are you fine with that, Cam? Cam? Okay.
I was hoping I could still be the medium between you and my little apprentices, but
No, no. Okay, so that's fine. So then let's talk at another time and how we can figure that out and how we could find that. Okay?
mhm.
All right, perfect. We'll do that then. All right, that's fine with me. All right, let's go to item number 6, mileage reimbursement study. So, this is going to be something that kind of comes hand in hand with the LLC. With that, we would be able to get reimbursed with our mileage that we, have to spend on gas or whatever. Say point A is Nazareth, point B, Cedar Crest College. So that could potentially save us some good money. So with that being said, if we do a study on that for the month of November to December, and everybody who drives for any of our events logs their mileage, and we see what that would give us and give us an average on how much money we'd be spending and stuff, is that something you think we could further invest in, or is that information that we should take at another time? Anybody have any opinions if that's something we should do now?
I'm saying no.
I
Okay.
think I think it would just come down to how much money it would actually save us in the long run. Like as we continue to put up, and I completely understand that this adds more work for you guys, and if you don't want to do that, that's cool. But as we start doing more and more events and we gain followers and subscribers, I think the bigger we get, and especially as we hope to hit 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year,
Right.
it would, like, I guess this would be more of a question for Preston. How much money does that save us?
Yeah, so that would come down to doing a study for it and seeing exactly how much money that would save for us.
Okay.
So at this point, because our main 3 drivers for the events are the 3 of the executive parents, and that's how it's been. But however, that could change for the winter, and because everybody who works for us would be covered under the LLC, we're going to take a full vote here out of all of us. Cam Rose is obviously not here to be present, so we're just going to skip over that, but that's fine. So I'm going to go down the line, and we're going to yay or nay at Charlie.
I'm for it.
Okay, for the study. Next, Cam.
For the study.
Okay, that's 2-1. Braden, what do you think?
I'd be fine with that.
Okay, and Jack.
Nay.
Okay, and I'm gonna go with yay. So the yays have it. So it's just a study. It's just gonna give me information on how we should approach that issue and go forward with that. Okay,
Preston,
go ahead.
I also think it should be done twice. Maybe if you want to get an idea in November, but then also do it during your busiest season, which is the football season.
So then we can find an average. That's a good.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. We'll keep that in mind, definitely. Okay. Going forward, we are going to go to item number 7, and that is audio issues and headphones for commentators. So the one issue during some of our games is like everybody's moving around and the mic doesn't move with them. So the audio kind of goes light. It's like quieter than crazy. And so if we have headphones and they're on the head, when you move, they move with you. Is that something we should invest in? Headphones instead of the mics, the handhelds.
So the one thing that I don't know about is how much money would that be? And also, if you're I guess I would think Bluetooth headphones would be more expensive, especially to find mics that would have a similar audio quality. Because if you're wired anyway, then you're not going to be moving.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
like,
So, I mean, as far as the cost goes, it might run us up to $100 for good quality headphones, as well as I'm against the Bluetooth just because it might be a delay with the
right.
software and stuff. So that it could run us up $100, but maybe we could push that to next meeting. I could have a price, I could have a description, and we could go for there.
I think that would be the best option.
Okay. Could I have one more thought from any of the rest of the board or general? What do you guys think about that? And then we'll move on.
I like our microphones right now. That's what I'll say.
Okay. All right.
Can I comment?
Sure. Yep.
From listening from the on as a
Viewer's perspective.
spectator,
Yep.
viewer, I feel that you should look into that because it is hard to hear when you're moving around or turn your head. It's hard to hear one or the other. I think it's worth looking into.
Okay. Thank you very much. Any other comments on this item number 7? Okay, we'll move to item number 8, and that will probably be our last item until I get another link out here for you guys for the rest of the night. We're not going to move it to another day because this is a busy time of the year, so we're going to keep it going for tonight. The next item is item number 8, photographer position. I have a bunch of people who are interested in this. However, they don't have the equipment, but they're looking at it. So with that being said, is that a service we should offer to people? And I'm going to go right down the line for us here, and I want everybody's perspective on if we should have a, paid photographer position that people can hire. Charlie, I'm going to start with you. What are your thoughts?
Three things.
Okay.
How much money do we estimate that'll make us?
Okay.
Do we think that, or how much money will paying the person who's going to take the photographs run us?
Right.
And how much will the equipment run us? Because
Okay.
if we think we're going to be in the negatives for a couple of months, I don't think now's the time to do that when we're already looking at so many other things. I think that could
Right.
be something for
The future.
the spring or next football season, right?
Right. Right.
So,
Okay. So with that being said, with those points, I'm going to want to postpone that for the next month until I have more information on what that will cost us. So with that being said, we're going to stop there. And everybody who is currently in the meeting will receive a link. I have everybody's email or phone number, and they will receive a link till the next meeting. So we will see you in about 10 minutes. 10 minutes. Thank you very much. We are now in recess. Board is now in recess. Okay, we're going to move to agenda number 9, strategic marketing. I just wanted to bring this up as a point just to see what everybody thought as far as our marketing and what we can do. We're already using Instagram, Facebook. Is TikTok something that we want to get started, or are we a little too busy for that? What do you guys think?
Nah.
Nope.
Okay, no for TikTok. Other than that, I don't really know. Is there something better we can be doing with like our thumbnails or titles for the football games? Like, what do you guys think?
I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. I honestly don't know. I'm
Okay,
gonna be
all right,
honest. I
and
don't really look
that's
at any.
fine.
I'm gonna be honest. I don't really look at any of that stuff.
That's fine. That's fine. So, um, okay, so we're gonna move to item number 10 then. Um, and that is the government shutdown 10-1 to it's still going on. I wanted to bring this up for us because of the effects that we might have thought it had on high school football. However, that did not turn out to really be much. So I just wanted to bring it up because with the content we produce is either with, public schools or stuff like that. So it's important that they're up and running for us to film, really. So the only schools that were affected were military schools. So we'll leave it at that. Um, and it's still going on. It's difficult for everybody, and equipment prices are up greatly. So I don't really want to buy anything in the next month altogether. Okay, item number 11 on the agenda. We're going to move to that. So this is aggressive titles and thumbnails. So as you guys knew, we used crazy red card, fight on the field, stuff like that, or bad referee call, stuff like that. I do not want to market us that way anymore because people don't really appeal to that well, and personally, it doesn't. Cam and I are both refs, and if I was on a thumbnail that said this ref sucks, probably wouldn't be the best. Although we're not saying this ref sucks, but in the thought, nobody would want to really be like that, unless that's the pill you like to swallow. In that case, it is what it is. But so with that being said, we have games that are still up that have those kind of titles, and we have like if you guys remember, like after every football season, soccer season, it's best plays, crazy moments, cards, and stuff like that. Do we want to go back and change the titles and thumbnails of those videos to make them look better?
I'm gonna say no, and I'm gonna say that because I don't know. I'm just gonna say no because I feel like that's an extra bit of work that you don't need, that we don't need. So I'm gonna say no.
Okay, and I appreciate that. And Cam, what do you think?
I agree with Jack fully.
Okay. All right, so we'll keep it as that then, but we will not be marketing ourselves as that going forward. Does everybody agree with that?
Okay.
Tam, you as well?
Yes, I do.
All right, thank you. We'll move on to item number 12. It is the newsletter email for fans updates. So, this was going to be the job I gave to Cam because it won't be difficult, but it helps us out a lot. So, basically, this would be a separate email from sportsfinalwhistle@gmail.com. I actually reserved on an account finalwhistlesportstv@gmail.com just because I didn't want anybody taking that. So, this newsletter would basically be sent out every time we upload a new video so people get the email, get notified if they don't turn on their notifications to YouTube, stuff like that. So, basically, what it would entail, the job would entail a Google Doc that has set up everything you would need for the email. It would include the list, and I'll add all of it. It would include the list of the recipients who would receive the email, and then you would have to add in the name of the video and the link to the video. That's it. And it would have on the doc new video alert, and it would say subscribe today and stuff like that. That would stay the same every game, but the difference is the content that's in the email. So is that something, and most businesses are doing this. So is that something that you think we can do? And if so, Cam, can you manage that because if you're going to stay as communications with the supervisor role with the juniors, is this something you'd be able to tackle?
Describe it again.
Okay, so it's going to be a newsletter. So every time we upload a new video, it would be sent out to all the recipients of whoever signs up to receive the email, and it would say our sponsors in it. It would say different stuff, and the only thing you would have to change every email is number one, if people unsubscribe from the newsletter. So if people don't want to receive the emails anymore, I would take care of that. But what you would have to do is you'd have to put the title and the link in each of the emails and have to do that every time we upload a new video.
Wait, why am I in charge of
For
the
director of
email?
communications.
No. Okay. When I said I wanted to do the kid stuff, it's not that I want to do communications with a bunch of people. I just want to lead and have one less branch of this company needing to report straight to you.
Okay. Okay, so you'd be able to take a little bit off my plate. Okay.
Yeah,
So,
that's what I'm doing with the little kids.
okay. Yeah, and I appreciate that. Okay. So with that being said, you do not want to tackle this job. Okay.
No.
Jack,
Anything with emails, I'm not going to be the best with.
okay. Jack, do you think no because of YouTube Shorts keep you busy?
That just doesn't seem like a thing I would be inclined to do.
Okay, so then let's do this. Is this something that because I will manage it, it just I might forget sometimes and it might not be sent out. But is this something that we should do? Do you think people will sign up for it? Let's let's do that. I'm gonna say, oh boy, this is actually a tough one for me. I don't know. I'm gonna say yes, just because it will be a good part of our marketing and like getting information out. What do you think, Cam? Cam?
Huh?
What do you think about if we do this and I manage it? Do you think it would be a good part to have in our business?
Yes.
A
Yes.
newsletter would be a good idea.
Yeah. Well, that depends. We should first see how many people would want one.
Okay, so do like a survey or something and then go from there.
Yes.
Okay, Jack, are you on the same boat as like trying to figure out if people would want it or not and then going from there? Okay, he said, "Give me a second." All right. So with that being said, we'll do that. We'll conduct a. Or Jack,
I'm
you're
here.
okay. Are you on the same boat as Cam as far as see who's interested and then go from there?
Yeah, if you want to do a survey, personally, I think you have better things to do. I think you already do enough editing. I don't really think I don't know. To be honest, I don't think this is going to be like a smashing hit or anything.
Right.
So I don't personally think this would be in your best time to do this
Okay.
if I had to speak on it. Because I think if we're already adding so many like podcasts, other things,
Right.
camera guy,
We might have enough going on. We don't really need that newsletter.
and I think it would be such a small like amount of marketing.
It
We
would
could
be a
just get it.
minimal part.
I think it would be better just like upload more like Instagram things.
Okay. All right. That and okay, that's fine. So with that being said, I want to go to Charlie because you just got here. Charlie, you here?
Well,
Okay, so we're on topic 12 and we're talking about possibly having a newsletter for our channel. So basically what that would entail is people would be able to sign up for it. It would be free and they would sign up for it and they would get an email every time there is a YouTube video posted or if we're covering an event or something. So I want to know what your thoughts would be on that because obviously you could hit the notifications bell on YouTube and be notified. However, some people don't do that. So what do you think about a newsletter? Do you understand what I'm saying?
I do.
Okay, what are your
And
thoughts?
I'm gonna have to agree with the other guys here. I don't think that would be, if I'm being honest, the people who would sign up for it already watch all of our videos anyway, right?
Right.
They probably already have notifications on. If they don't, they still watch them all. Doesn't
Yeah,
make sense.
it might just be a yeah, it would just turn into more work for no reason. I mean, so in okay, so we're gonna go from there. If you are in favor of the newsletter happening, yay. If you are not, nay. I'm going to go nay. Cam next.
Nay.
Oh, okay, Jack.
Nay.
Charlie.
Nay.
All right, the podcast, the podcast. The newsletter will not be happening. Okay, and we're going to go to item number 13 on the list, YouTube memberships on YouTube. So we actually got a few of these. I think we're at 3 or something. However, the perks just aren't really good for them. Like, they don't get much. So we need to figure out, what are we going to give to them? Like, so I'm actually going to pull up our channel and I'm going to see what we can offer. And we're going to see what we want to offer and what we don't. So for the members, do we want to offer them member only videos? Is that something we can manage?
I'm gonna hop in this conversation. Oh, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay. I'm gonna hop in this conversation and start by saying I think the first perk should be smaller than that because that just seems like you said, there's 3 people. Maybe that'll entice people, but I don't imagine there being more than like 30 people, and that's still not a lot.
Right.
And granted, if you're joining as a member, I mean, are you joining because you want to support us or because you're like looking for these videos? I think there might be other benefits that are smaller but more of them and easier to manage.
Okay.
True.
So, okay.
The only thing that I would say that we could do feasibly would be like an extra podcast clip every week, or an extra short once a week, or like these little things that maybe only take an extra 20-ish minutes that could end up bringing us in another. Let's say that perk gives us one new member, that's a couple extra dollars a month.
Right.
And
Okay.
with how low the AdSense is on shorts, I don't think that there's a reason why we couldn't do that. We've been getting a lot, and I mean a lot of support on our new shorts that have been coming out. So,
Right. So yeah, okay. So as far as our perks will go, set in stone here. Let me pull them up, and then if there's any changes we need to make, we do, and if we don't, we don't. And that's as simple as that. So during the winter as well, there will be during the winter, and this is another point I want to bring up here, a point of interest I'm going to present. So during the winter, we will have times where some people will have to work at the St. Luke Sports Center, and some will have to. Can I go over the list of 2 concerns? Yeah, yep, we'll go over that soon. So the thing during the winter is I might be at one facility and you might be at the other, and I'm not going to be able to help you run the stream. So as far as I have 2 computers and they will both stream at 2 separate locations, and we can run them concurrently. So, with that being said, what would you guys do? You guys feel like you guys could run a stream without me? Because that's what I need to know. Cam,
absolutely, I think I can. Oh, sorry.
no, you go ahead, Charlie, and then we'll go to Cam.
I can. I think after the P8 Prime game that I had covered, I think
The software and stuff. Yep.
yeah, I think I'm capable of using the software, and I think the only thing would be I would need to put in some more stuff in terms of listening to how the audio sounds, and that'll come with experience. But I don't think there's a reason why I couldn't run a stream.
Okay. All right. That sounds good. And I would have to go over everything with you anyway, just to make sure we're all set in stone and you know what's going on. Um, Cam, what are your thoughts?
Well, like what you just said, if you just go over everything with me, then I'll probably get the hang of it.
Okay, and as far as equipment and stuff, you know how to use it?
Uh, well, you just have to go over that with
Yeah,
me,
we'd
'cause,
have to go over it. Okay.
yeah. Other than that, yeah, I'm good.
Okay. And Jack, what are your thoughts?
My only concern would be setting up and cleaning up, but other than that, I'd know how to use the stuff.
Okay. All right, and that's something that we can maybe work on or something like that. So it's just I know it's going to happen sometime this winter. Maybe you guys are at In the Zone or somebody's with me and I'm at In the Zone and you guys are at the St. Luke Sports Center. It's just going to happen. We're going to get busy and we're going to have to do double streams because if we're getting paid for both, we're going to do both. It's going to have to happen. So, and YouTube will have two streams on our channel at once, and what we would do is one of them would be all access for just you just subscribe and you can, and one would be members only depending on what the game is. So we would figure that out, and then after the stream concludes, then it would become public. So that's another reason to maybe get people to become a member. But okay, circling back to the memberships, the perks that you get for the membership status are loyalty badges with your name and in comments on the live chat. That's it. Is that fine? And then from there, like if we were hosting like a members only stream, we would add that into the subscription members only stream. So I can fix that up. So, okay. Everybody good to move on?
Yeah.
Yep.
All right.
Yes.
Game reimbursement study. Oh, okay. So this has to do with, so say we're going to film a Easton football game and you have to go onto the hometown ticketing app and you have to buy a ticket for $3 or $5, whatever it is. If we can have an LLC and we have that as a business expense, we would get reimbursed for that. Is that something we should look into in addition to the mileage study?
I think that those two things would go together, and I think that those two things would be immensely useful, even if that only saves us $50 a month with the gas mileage, and I say only sparingly, and the tickets maybe only save us 20 or $30. That's still about 40% of a sponsorship deal between those two things.
Right. Right.
That could be the difference from us getting better and higher quality mics and headsets than just using the stuff that we have right now.
And I think with an LLC to our name too, there is a sense of respect towards an LLC business compared to just a business without one. So, I mean, it's definitely something that we can look into. So, anybody have any objections to looking into it?
I would say just wait until the summer. I mean, you just talked about how busy it is,
Right.
and the
Yeah.
summer's not busy. So that's what I would say.
Okay. Cam, are you agreeing with Jack?
Get back. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So at some point we can tackle that once we have some more free time. Because right now I'm slammed with work, so it's every night. But we'll figure that out eventually. Okay. Item 15, YouTube Shorts production. Jack, do we have a schedule you can present at all? If you're gonna have like a set schedule of when they're coming out, since soccer's done with you. Congratulations, by the way, of having a
Yeah,
good
Jack.
season.
Sorry.
What are you thinking?
It should be hopefully every time a YouTube Shorts release, I'm just gonna preface this. It's gonna be 7 o'clock at night.
Okay. Okay.
So that's something to note immediately. And what I'm hoping is by the start of November, it should be every day at least going until Christmas is what I'm hoping.
Okay.
If not, it'll at least be 5 days a week,
Okay.
Okay.
and at least per weekends. So that's today, like 2 days in the week. Everybody knows there's going to be shorts coming out.
Okay. That's good. Good.
Okay. So
Yeah, so as far as Charlie goes, being a junior short form content creator, you guys are going to kind of be working together. So I'm going to already, for our communications, for your guys' communication sake, I am going to add a new Discord channel in there that is specifically for you guys to go back and forth, talk about what's you guys are working on or whatever you guys need. Okay, so you guys will be in communication with that way. But as far as what do you guys have to say between you and Jack and Charlie? Like, what's up?
I just would like to be interested in, or would like I am interested and would like to learn about, like, what do you think in doing this has turned a video into just an average short into a successful short, and how you acquire some of the clips that you have. Like in a few of the ones that or in the one edit that I put out, I just screen recorded the clip from my phone, but I wonder if there's a better way to do that.
So yeah, Jack is you. Would you be open to teaching Charlie and showing him how to do stuff? So maybe that would take a little bit of work off of you if he's making some production as well.
Yeah, and that's with like Braden too, if he decides to like make YouTube shorts. But I
Okay.
also like I just want to say like preface this immediately, like when I make a YouTube short, I try to make it like as short as possible and have as much information,
Short
just
and to the
so
point.
because we get those brain rot kids in our YouTube shorts, and they cannot stand watching a video as informationable. That's not even a word, but as informative as the YouTube short can be and as good as it could be, people will not watch it if it's just I don't know if it's too long, and that's really annoying. And I've definitely felt that. So that's something I
Do you
think we
have
definitely
a
need.
Do you have a specific? Let me say like time frame. Like, what should it be under? What should every short be under that you think?
It depends on the type of the short, I would say. Like if I'm making a video with like my voice in it, which I haven't made in like 2 years, but if I was to do that, it would probably be like under 30 seconds. And then the other YouTube shorts, if it's like a highlight, I would say like under 20 seconds, like a string of multiple highlights.
Right.
If it's just one, it would probably have to be even shorter than that because you really just need the like if it was a football touchdown, you need the touchdown, maybe a little bit of the celebration, and you got to cut it out pretty much immediately, or else the retention's gonna go down.
So I know Charlie, you like to do the talking and the reporting. Um so yeah, I would just keep that in mind, for the retention
Okay.
aspect. Just
So under 50 seconds.
yeah, I mean, I would guess so. I don't really know, to be honest with you, but what do you think about that, Jack? Is that even still too long if he's doing like a reporting on something?
Yeah, it would have to be probably shorter than that. Like when it's just annoying too, because the YouTube shorts you made were very informative and they were good, but it's just like unfortunate that people won't watch it because
Right.
they can't stand watching the video for more than like 20 seconds, and it's
And I
frustrating.
I can vouch for that. Like, YouTube Shorts is a spin-off of TikTok, 100%. They have
Yeah.
different features, but it's modeled off of it because there was a good capitalism that happened off of TikTok. So if I'm scrolling TikTok and I see somebody talking, and if they're not getting to the point, I'm gonna scroll. So
Right.
I I think that's just maybe the format of how your videos are going with the talking. Maybe we can, like, do you think, Jack, if we add on top of it like some some like touchdowns or whatever he's talking about, something that correlates to it, do you think that would engage a little bit more?
Yeah, I mean, I like the videos of the talking when I can add like extra clips. The issue is just like they need to be like short and condensed, obviously, and
Right.
probably not every week. I would say every other week we'd probably need to put those out. But that would hopefully get a devoted people who will continue watching them, and maybe
Right.
then we'll start uploading them more frequently. But you got to test the waters first.
Reoccurring maybe if they like it. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Anything to add before we move on to the next topic? Like I said, I will add that Discord channel where you two can contact each other, and if Braden decides he's going to make shorts for us, I will add him as well. But you guys can use that to talk about different things, okay?
Yep.
Okay.
All right, we're going to move on to item number 16, and then we'll move on to Jack's items. So, item number 16 is commentators' misconduct. So, I only put this down on the docket here just because of the amount of complaints that we got from the one live stream. I'm not going to directly cite it. There's no point in doing that. If you know, you know, and if you don't, you don't. So we just need to watch what we're saying. I know, especially if you're getting into the game, you can, especially if you're being hired by a certain team, we have, direct feelings to them and we want to see them succeed. But we just have to watch what we're saying, and calling the other teams. And I got my email got blown up that night by angry people who were just angry. So I feel like, however, we can just move on from that because we've corrected that. And last night's stream was very good. No complaints other than Braden's audio wasn't working from down on the field, but that's just my equipment that wasn't working. And I feel like the Charlie and Braden Pennsylvania Prime live stream went amazing. So we have fixed that. So we're all good. I just had a note I did a feedback survey. The red fish, blue fish was an issue, but we corrected that. I haven't heard that in a while, thank God. There was aggressive yawning. I didn't pick up on it, but I don't know. That just people didn't like it. And accents. That's just the accents. I don't know. But if we don't get complaints about it, then it's all right. But we'll move on from that. And at this point, we are going to go to Jack. Jack, would you please present the points that you would like to talk about?
I only wrote down bullet points too, so it'd be good if stay engaged a little bit.
Sure.
But the first thing and the thing it's kind of working off of what you just said. I want to talk a little bit about the strikes and the complaints, the system we have in Discord, right?
Sure.
I would just personally want that to be more revised. And can I explain why?
Yes, and
So,
also give examples of how we can go about revising that, because that's
yeah.
something that I agree with that.
So the first thing I'd say is that I think there should be a system, almost like a hierarchy of what deserves a strike and what deserves a warning. Because
So directly outlined and cited, so you know what's going to happen if you don't do what you need to do.
yeah, I'd say some form of a guideline, that would be something important. So we'd have a thing you skip a meeting, that's a warning. But I don't know, maybe you swear on a live stream, that's another warning. But maybe something bigger, a bigger offense, like one of these, you skip one of these, maybe that's a strike, you know?
Right. Okay. So directly outlined, and everybody sees what's going on with. You're. It's not willy nilly. Oh, you get a warning for that. No, it's if you do this, that equals that.
Yeah,
Okay.
and I would just like to have people able to be everybody should check in this so this works for everybody, just not if I wrote it, maybe I'd be biased and everyone would disagree with me, you know? So I wanted to have everybody agree on what the terms are.
So the punishments basically.
Yeah. And
Okay.
another thing I would say is having some form of we have this right now, almost like an appeal system. So if I skipped a meeting, but I don't know, if I was I was giving birth or something, that would be a valid point to skip a meeting, right? Maybe
Yes.
I can appeal that.
Okay. So I believe you have appealed something before, and it's been removed. I think maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know. But so what would you recommend doing for an appeal? handling it through a text message, handling it through a phone call, handling it through these meetings? What do you think?
I would say probably a Discord thing, like below your message of like you received a strike. Maybe you'll be like this was the reason why I couldn't make it. Next time I won't do that or something. Maybe that
Okay.
would work out because I just think it would be more efficient. Like everybody's busy, obviously. So
Right, for sure. And people have things, pop up too. Like if you're feeling sick the one day, you can't do it, whatever. We'll work with it. If you can't, whatever happens, you get into a car accident, whatever. But
yeah,
yeah, as long as you got a reason, you're good.
and we
It's
just need to like honesty too, like because if you're like falling asleep, like we can't really like that's not an appealable thing. Like that's just like can't happen again. So that's why you're getting a strike, right?
Yeah, I agree with that 100%. So yeah, if we're all on board for directly outlining the guidelines, most basically like bylaws of our company and for employees and setting in stone what will happen if you do such thing, and then from there having you can appeal, you can just be like, yeah, admit to it, yeah, I did it, whatever. Are we all in favor of updating that and figuring that out? I'll go with Cam. Yay or nay?
Forgot I was muted. Yep.
All right, Jack
Yep.
and Charlie.
Absolutely.
And I will go yes as well. We have 4 yeses. So yeah, we'll all work on that. I'll basically make a draft, and then we can all together, you know, move around what we need to. Does anybody have any other points that were not official points on to the board, but we can talk about them?
Nope.
Now I put down one more thing on my list. I put down 3 commentators. Is that something we ever wanted to do? Like for one
Ooh.
game? I know Braden, like he was on the sideline, but I'm talking
Like
like in
like
the
having
booth.
him up in the box as well?
Yeah.
So
I personally,
the only problem with that is I don't have 3 mics. So how would we combat that?
I mean,
Jeremiah.
it could just be like we share a mic, yeah.
And handoff. Okay.
Because
like,
I'm
what?
not gonna lie, especially during like the 90-minute games, in the middle it gets pretty boring,
So
Yeah,
especially when
if you
no
have a
goals are
third
scored.
person, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you have that third person, maybe you can even be like you subbing in. So like there's 2 guys at a time, but then 15 minutes go by. Oh, here comes a new guy.
Right.
Right. Or
Um,
let's say we grow this a little bit more. Me and Preston are at one game, and Preston's running the stream, and I'm commentating with somebody. And then Cam, Jack, and Braden are at another game, and somebody's running the stream while the other 2 are commentating, or something like that. Where let's if Preston's not there, we can take turns running a stream and commentating so that somebody's not doing both and not really doing a good job on either.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
sounds like a good idea.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
think that's because otherwise, if you have 3 people talking at the same time, like when we're doing the post comms with, I know personally with me and Braden, it there's already too many people who are constantly talking over each other because football, especially with the way that it gets recorded, moves very, very, very quickly. And I don't think that it makes much sense to have another person with their own thoughts and opinions in there when we already can't talk as much as we'd like to.
Right. Yeah,
So
so I mean that's something I would be
maybe
open
there'd be
to
like
exploring.
maybe that's a live exclusive, a 3 commentator game,
Yeah.
because I think otherwise, with how you edit them down already and then edit them again, people's voices are going to get cut off.
Right.
Yeah, I was thinking about the 90-minute games. The other ones, like,
Yeah.
I mean, we could have 3 commentators. We could just do like, say one person's commentating a possession, they punt the ball, the next guy comes in or something.
Yeah.
But I mean, another thing I wrote down too was like the last thing I wrote down was 2 things. I put
All right,
like
we're under a
IRL.
minute before the the meeting ends. Do we want to
Quickly.
No, I
expand?
got it real quick.
Okay.
I just put down IRL live commentating football. We did that like
Yes.
once,
Okay.
but it didn't work that well.
Yeah, we'll figure that out going forward.
Yeah.
Okay, permission to move to public comment. Can I have a second?
Quick.
I second.
Okay, no public comment seen. Permission to end public comment and adjourn the meeting.
Yep.
Yep.
Okay, thank you very much for attending. Our next meeting will be discussed at a later date. Thank you very much. Have a nice night.
You as
You
well.
too.